travel with me.
Hey fellow humans, Mina here. So, oh my god, we are February. You know what that means? Next month, South is finally coming out. Oh my god! It's super exciting and I can't wait for you all to read that because it's a hella dope read in my opinion. To get you into pre-ordering that novel, I want to talk about South again. And more specifically, we're going to do an author tag, an author novel debut tag that was made by fellow Authortuber Damn Chili. He's a cool dude. Go check him out. Links to his channel in the description down below, and also his video, if you want to check out his video, it's up there. He made this tag. He said he may not be the first to have made it, but this is his version and we're gonna do his version. So thanks for the video idea. Let's get into it. Number 1, tell us about your debut novel, work in progress. Well, South is technically not a work in progress anymore. It is at the pre-order stage. It's all done, everything we need is good to go. We've read the author copies, they look dope, y'all have seen them, I've held them up before, and it's going great. Everything's going smoothly. We're doing the giveaway for it, links in the description down below if you want to get on that. But if you want me to tell you about the novel itself, I will say that I have a few videos on it. One, here's the video with the plot synopsis, if you want to watch that. Or if you're into the book trailer, which I'm very proud of, by the way. It took a little while to make, but it turned out really dope. If you want to watch the book trailer, y'all can also watch that up there. South itself is an LGBT drama romance, and it is kind of like a slow burn romance. It's all about self-discovery, learning to love who you are. It deals with mental health. It deals with other topics, like some of the trigger warnings for like divorce, potential suicidal thoughts, PTSD, anxiety, depression, but it obviously also deals with love and some romance, and we've got some representation of not just LGBT, but we got like people of color in here. I mean, Minami is Japanese and she's one of the MCs, and then you've got Nikki, she's black, and Parker, she's Indian descent. Then you got the guys and they're just straight white boys. But it's a mixing pot. So yeah, if you want to feel all the feels, this is the book for you. Number 2, will you go traditional or self-publishing? Well, I think you already know it at this point, but I'm going self-publishing. There's many reasons why I chose to go self-publishing over traditional, but the main one is that I wanted control, especially over making sure I kept the title, because the title had meaning to me. If you want to see why, I made a whole video about why South is called South. Also, I really wanted my own say in the cover design, and I just really wanted the control over it. Sure, someday if some big-time publisher came up to me and be like, we want to republish this book in our fancy big-time publisher thing, I'd be like, okay, well, I mean, depending on what they offered and stuff, but for now, I really like the idea of self-publishing, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's still publishing. It's a book that you can physically own in your hands or on your tablet, because it's also available as an ebook. Number 3, the current status of your work in progress. As we mentioned in the first point, South is about to be published March 15th, 2022, so next month. So I'm just going to say that the current status of my current work in progress, which is actually the second novel, the continuation of South. Well, technically it's not a continuation, it's a parallel novel. It's not a companion novel, it's a parallel, meaning you can read this book without having read the first one, but it also has events of the first book that like you're like, oh, I remember that happening, but it's from the view of these other new characters, and the main characters from South do cameo and eventually kind of make their way into the novel as more of characters from scenes that you haven't seen of South. So it's like a fun little Easter egg, and eventually in book 3 they're all gonna go together, but I haven't started on that one. So the progress of book 2, which I've mentioned before, is called Bridge. I've already written it. and I've self-edited it twice, and I currently am working on some editor edits again. Then I should be almost done the edit soon. I would have been done a lot sooner, but I was on vacation and I literally didn't touch writing at all. I just read a lot of books and played games and watched Netflix, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I'm back working on the edits, and I'm near the end. We're just fluffing it up a little bit, not like adding extra stuff, but adding necessary scenes that I realized were missing from the first draft of it. So yeah, once I'm done this, I'll be looking for beta readers, by the way. So when I'm ready, I'll make a video about that if you want to get into beta reading for Bridge. And remember, you don't technically have to read the first book, but it'll be hella dope if you did, if you want to have some cool aha moments. Number 4, how long have you been writing? I've been writing technically my whole life, writing stories, writing script for comics, writing short stories and stuff like that, but nothing ever really serious. But if we're talking about how long have I been writing self, that's a kind of a trick question, because I've been writing it for years, first as comics, scripts, as I've mentioned in videos before, because it used to be a comic, and then secondly, I was writing it on and off for years with editing and stuff. But really, if we're talking first draft of Self, it was just a few months, from August to December. Then I wrote that because I was in university at the time, and I wrote between classes and stuff. So I guess just a few months, but if we're talking with edits and everything, years. There's no number, it's been a long time. So it's been in the works since like at least 2015 novel version, not just the comic version, we're not counting that, but novel version since 2015, and then edits on and off because life stuff happened. So I don't know how long it's been since 2015 because I can't math, so if you can do the math, that's how long. Number 5, what earlier works were put on the back burner or abandoned completely to make way for this novel? None, actually. Self was my main goal for years. Even way back before it was called Self, when it was going to be a comic, and before it was that comic, it was a comic called Silent Tears. And so it might have evolved into what it is today, and it's definitely evolved for the better. If you read the comic scripts, which are online to read, because they're absolutely horrible and the stories change so much that it doesn't matter anyway. If you've read the original works, it's definitely changed, but it's always been the same story. Minami's always been there since the beginning, even if the other characters haven't. But yeah, no other works have been worked on except for Self. And now we're working on more Self-related content in Self-universe, with Bridge. Number 6, what's the most challenging thing about writing this novel? Honestly, my personal time management. Because like I said, I wrote the first draft in 2015 and I had all my edits from the editor and stuff, but I only finished them in 2016, later 2016, and then it took me a hot minute between each editor round of edits and beta round of edits, because I'm not good at time management, although I'm better at it now, which is why I started, the regular schedule of all the socials and stuff. But before it was like, I'll just do a little bit and just focus on something else for like another year. So honestly, it's a me thing. There was nothing that stood in the way. Once I was writing, I actually can get a huge chunk done. I once wrote 5,000 words in one day, and I thought that was pretty cool. That was my world record. I usually average 1,000 to 2,000-ish on a good day, 500-600-ish on a not so good day. So yeah, the most challenging part is actually focusing and time management, not any part of the writing process itself, because I actually find that part quite easy. Even the edits, I like editing. I know a lot of people don't, but I actually find it kind of fun because it improves the story, and I like seeing that improvement as I go. Number 7, what was the most fun part about writing this novel? As mentioned in the last video about holidays, I'm going to say it's the holiday scenes. I was looking forward to them, and I really loved finally getting to that scene. It was the scene I had envisioned since its inception, since when I started writing, and I was like, I can't wait to get to here, to the big moment. And I think it was worth it, and there's still a couple of big moments in the end, but like, yeah, I think writing the holiday scenes were my favorite. Also, I like the cutesy scenes, especially between Minami and AJ. Minami is such an adorable little cinnamon roll. Beta reader's words, not mine, but they ain't wrong. Number 8, what did you learn during the writing process? Well, first off, I learned from the first draft that I had a problem with tense issues. I remember with the very first draft, before I even started writing novel version of it, I was like writing half of it was in present tense and half of it was in past tense, and I was like, oh my god, what am I doing? And then I got that straightened out really fast. And then I learned about white room syndrome, which I also did a video on at one point, and because we had that as a problem, but I believe I fixed it, or at least definitely improved upon it, and I'm keep working on it as I go, because you know, we're never perfect, we're always improving and learning. Number 9, if you can go back in time, what 3 things would you tell the version of yourself who is still in the midst of writing their first draft? Well, first, I would definitely say try not to be distracted by some of life's things. Past self me knows what I'm talking about, and just actually focus on writing and getting it done, because then I could have published this way sooner. Although I think right now is the right time, but still, it would have been cool to have been at this process a lot sooner. The second thing is definitely get your social media game going and building that author platform right away, instead of like only a year before you publish the first book, because like I'm still a small creator, so I'm not that popular yet, and I get that, but like I'm just saying, if I would have started earlier, I could have had more followers, and that's not saying that every person who follows me is obviously not going to buy the book, because that followers do not equal purchases. But it's definitely good to get yourself known out there, because if no one knows who you are, no one's gonna buy your book, because they don't know you exist. And lastly, the third one, good job. Y'all wrote a friggin' book. You did so much research to get just to write one sentence and make sure that sentence was good. Like, if I'm talking about medical stuff, I did so much research because I don't know shit about medical stuff. And if I just for one line, I did like a week's worth of research. And so like, good on you, past self. You did good, and you're gonna continue to do good, and you're gonna write another book, and hopefully another one after that, the third book. You did it. You finally achieved your dream, and your book is going to be published. So congrats, past you. Yay. And number 10, will your next novel be a sequel or a new work? Sort of kind of touched on this in previous questions, but it's a sequel to South, but it's not technically a sequel. It's a parallel novel. And the true sequel, the third in the South series, that'll be out later. I haven't even outlined that one yet because we're still working on the second book. So yeah, it's a parallel novel, but it's still within the South universe. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed learning about South. That's coming out March 15th. If you want to pre-order this bad boy LGBT plus drama romance novel, y'all can do that right now. Links to your favorite stores are down below, and if you do, make sure you enter the pre-sale giveaway where you can win some dope-ass prizes, including a mother flipping Kindle. So if you want that to be you, fill out the form below after you pre-order, and it's that easy. Anywho, that's all I gotta say for now. If you want to keep hearing more about South, be sure to follow me on all your favorite socials. Links below. Stay safe and take care. Bye! I'm a fan enjoying it.